right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. And right here, right now, we are joined by Toronto, Ontario, Canada's own. That's right, we got Dylan Bradley right here, live on the radio station. He is a phenomenal, talented individual that is absolutely tearing up Ontario and Canada at that. Dylan, how are you doing this Thursday night, man?
I'm great. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, man, you're most certainly welcome. It's an absolute honor to chop it up with you. I actually discovered you through Instagram ads, man. I was scrolling through, and I was like, man, I've never heard of this artist. How is he on my feed? And I looked, I was like, man, this guy is exactly what music is, man. I knew once I heard that, I had to listen to more and reach out to you, man. So whoever's doing your marketing, if it's you doing it or your team, you guys are doing one hell of a phenomenal job, man, because you're definitely reaching new ears.
Awesome. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Hey, man, you're most certainly welcome. But I do know you're a busy individual, so of course I'm going to dive right into this, man. But I got to take you back to the beginning of your amazing music career this far. And I have to ask, man, what actually inspired you to pursue a career within the music industry initially? Like, what originally just sparked that passion?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing guitar pretty much my whole life, probably since I was like 6 even. Started playing other instruments as well, bass, drums, and always like singing too. And eventually that just kind of led naturally into writing some tunes. And next thing you know, I was making a record. So here we are.
Hey, man, I got to say, it's crazy how things actually work, man. You know, you just kind of do it. Next thing you know, you just watch everything take off, man. It's almost a surreal feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes years of hard work, I'd say, to get here, but lots of practice, you know, alone down here and whoever else. But yeah, eventually you just keep writing tunes, and you get an album worth, and you know, do whatever it takes to get it out there.
And when you said a few moments ago you were just kind of like playing and whatnot, what actually like made you, when you actually just randomly just started playing, when was that moment that you sat there and you were like, man, you know what, this is something I really want to do. Let's take this seriously and actually just run with it. Do you remember that exact moment when you actually realized that?
I think it was always kind of there for me. Like, I was always kind of playing guitar and always kind of had that mindset of, I want to do this. I want to be on stage. I want to write songs. And for me, growing up, it was more about just kind of shredding. Like, I just wanted to play guitar and play as fast as I could and rip over all the songs that I come to love. But I guess getting older and more mature, I kind of realized, hey, I should actually write some tunes, and, you know, we'll still shred on them, of course, but, you know, focus more on the musicality and the lyrics, and having a strong message to talk to people about.
And also as well, September 28th of 2023, you actually released an amazing single titled All Your Lies. I was wondering, what is the story and inspiration behind this amazing single? Because if I'm not mistaken, this is actually one of your very first songs you actually ever put out to the general public.
Yeah, so this was the first single I released off the record. Some crazy inspiration about this one. It was a very random encounter for me. It's a little bit relatable to situations I've been through as well. But I remember once I was just walking out one day, and I think it was in the fall, a couple years back, and I came across this car that was all beaten up and had graffiti on it, like "fuck you," and, you know, all this stuff, just this whole story on there. And at first I just kind of walked by, and then I kind of was like, that was interesting, like the windows smashed in, all the best, right? And I looked at it and I was like, there's a story here. Like, someone was really pissed off at whoever screwed them over. So I remember coming back home that night and just picking up the guitar and just kind of coming up with that riff, you know, that kind of intro. And it just kind of took its natural course from there. Added, you know, the drums, and just kind of created the demo here in my home studio. And yeah, and then the rest is history.
And when you actually create this music, I have to ask, are you a one-man band, or do you actually have other individuals that you actually kind of bring on for a short period of time when you actually create this music? Or are you the drummer, the bassist, the guitarist? Are you all that in one?
Yeah, so I do play all the instruments. On the actual record, I did work with a session band. So I found a producer and worked with this band called The Agenda. Very talented musicians. Al Rowe, the producer. So I took the music to them. Like I produced all the demos on my own. So I did play all the original parts, came up with the bass and drums and everything, and then kind of took it to them, and we did a little bit of pre-production together, and then cut the record, which was nice because it's nice being able to just kind of focus on playing guitar and singing and the song overall, and being able to kind of offload some of that studio pressure to, you know, drums and bass and whatnot. But we basically cut the whole record live, and then did maybe a small handful of guitar overdubs, and that was really it. And then vocals were separate as well, but for the most part, it was just a live band kind of situation, which really resonated with the music.
And also as well, I don't mean to make this all about singles, but the one single that really drew me to your music, man, is a song titled "I'm Sorry" that you actually dropped December 14th of last year, 2023. I gotta know, man, just a little bit more about this amazing song, and of course, what actually inspired and influenced such a passionate track, man, because you could definitely really feel like your message, and you can really feel just the emotion within the song.
Yeah, so this song, it kind of means a lot of different things to me. Like it's not necessarily so literal, like the intro talking about, you know, someone lighting my clothes on fire and digging a hole in my tire. It's a little more metaphorical for me. Like thankfully it didn't go down quite like that, thankfully for me. But it's more about the, I guess, that feeling of hurt when you kind of do something unexpected to someone, or aren't really the right fit, aren't really feeling like you're there with them. So to me, that's kind of what it's about. And there's kind of that section after the chorus that's saying, one of these days I'll get this right. So to me, that kind of means like, you know, I'm just gonna live my life, do the best that I can do, and hopefully one day it'll be right in your eyes, even if, you know, right now it's not. And right now where it's all hell's breaking loose.
And I will say that song is can definitely resonate with a lot of people as well. A lot of people have went through that situation. A lot of people have had their stuff burned through away, like, you know, tires slashed, the whole works, man. So I can see why this song has just got the numbers that it's gotten, man. Because this song, a lot of people can relate to this. Me personally, I haven't had my tires slashed or anything like that, but I know other people that actually have. So I know this song will definitely resonate with them and their past life.
Yeah, it really captures like the chaos of maybe crossing someone, or not keeping up with your promises like you said you would, and the anger that kind of follows. But the chorus is really just about like, you know, I'm sorry, kind of tongue in cheek, not really meaning it. Like I'm gonna do me. I'm sorry if it's not exactly what you were looking for, but that's the way it's gonna be. So that's kind of the message behind that.
And I do know as well that you actually released a phenomenal music video as well for "I'm Sorry," man, which I gotta say, the visuals were absolutely amazing. I gotta ask, man, where was this music video actually filmed? I'm pretty sure it's probably in the Toronto area, but I'm just asking in a way because I mean, just the visuals where you filmed that, it's such a beautiful place.
Thank you. Yeah, that one turned out pretty cool. That video was actually done at the underpass. So it's kind of like there's like a highway, and it's kind of downtown Toronto, a little underground skate park, if you will. Lots of graffiti, and just kind of completely captured the vibe of that I was going for with the video. So it worked out really well. It's funny because it actually ended up being like one of the coldest freaking days when we were shooting that. And me and Telly, my videographer, we were just outside freezing, couldn't feel my fingers. Everything was cold, but you can't really tell in the video. So it worked out, and it was yeah, it turned out pretty cool.
And also as well, I know you briefly just mentioned this a few moments ago, but March 14th of 2024, you actually released the amazing 8-track album titled "No Turning Back." I was wondering if we can dive a little bit more actually into the album just itself, man. And of course, are there actually any hard copies available to be streamed or purchased today? Because this album is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you. There aren't any hard copies made yet, but that is something that I am toying with the idea of doing. So I can definitely send one over to you when that happens. But yeah, it's every track on that song definitely has its own place in my heart. And there are even a lot of songs that didn't make the album that still mean a lot to me as well. So hopefully I'll be able to get those out in one form or another someday. But yeah, like I think there's it's hard to say like which song would be my favorite off that record because they all really mean something special to me.
Yeah, I gotta say the album is absolutely phenomenal, man. I can't even pick a favorite. I gotta say, if I'm gonna choose a favorite, it has to be all of them together. They can't be separated, man. Like you can't. You just gotta choose all eight together and put them in that order.
Yeah, I mean the thing about this record, especially, like I was kind of going for a lot of different sounds, and the style of music that I love is just rock music as a whole. So I try not to limit myself. Like I'm Sorry is definitely more of that punk rock kind of punk pop vibe to it. But if you have a song like October, it's a little softer, or something like Not Worth Saving's more of a soft rock kind of hit. And then you have something like Close to Me, which is more of like a love song. So I tried to balance it out. And then All Your Lies and Thanks to You are more hard rock. So it kind of has a little bit of everything. So I hope that there's something for everyone on that album is sort of how I view it. Hopefully, as long as they appreciate, some form of rock or another. So that's the goal there, was to really just test the waters and all these different sounds and put something together that really feels like a record.
And I know this is a cliche kind of question, man, but when I actually reached out to you on Instagram, that one ad that I actually saw, pop up on my feed, had absolutely love from people from all over the world, man. And like I said, this is going to be a cliche question, but how does it feel, you being a relatively new artist within the music industry, seeing all these people from all over the world loving and enjoying your music, man? How does that feel, just coming from an amazing Canadian artist like yourself? Because unfortunately, as you already know, a lot of the times Canadian artists don't really get seen or heard as much as the American artists, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible. Like definitely it definitely kind of spawned out into the world more than I was expecting. And I found like everywhere from Mexico and Brazil and Portugal and Japan and everywhere, as you were saying. But it's definitely a very humbling experience. Like I've had uh, a good number of people just reach out to me directly and say like, hey, this song means a lot to me. It, changed me in one way or another, or it, touched my heart, or all of these things. And to me, that's it's kind of the most amazing thing you could hear, to know that you wrote something that helped someone through a hard time, or means something in someone's life. Because to me, that's what music means to me. So knowing that I can kind of give that same feeling to others is really all I could ever ask for. So it's really just, yeah, very humbling to know that I can have that impact on other people's lives.
And also as well, now that your amazing debut album is out, it's getting some serious, amazing feedback from all over the world. Are there any plans for Dylan Bradley to actually hit the road and actually just to set up any shows? And if so, if there is any up and coming shows, where can we actually see you and snag ourselves some tickets if they are indeed booked?
Yeah, so nothing's booked yet, but I just finished putting my new band together, so I'm super excited about that. We've gone through rehearsals. We're sounding really great, and I'm really excited to get that first gig booked and go from there. So I'll definitely keep you posted as soon as we have that ready. But yeah, I'm hoping this summer we're gonna get a bunch of gigs lined up and put together a tour.
And I gotta say, congratulations on getting the new band set up as well, man. I gotta say, you are amazing as a solo artist by yourself, man. So I can only imagine what Dylan Bradley can do with a full-on band right by his side, man. I'm excited, man. There ain't nowhere up. There ain't nowhere up but here for you, man. Honestly, you're such a talented individual.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Like it's taken a lot of work and a lot of time to find the right people and really make everything come together. Gone through a lot of people along the way that unfortunately, either flaked out or screwed me over, or different things happen, right? But at the end of the day, here we are. So the new band's together. I'll definitely be doing an announcement soon, so I'll keep you posted.
And that's the one thing as well that I notice with bands. I hear it a lot. Sometimes in some areas it's hard to find a drummer. Like it's like trying to like find a needle in a haystack. Or sometimes it's hard to find a bass player. It's crazy how just sometimes bands have so much difficulty finding someone, man. It's almost like the music industry is so oversaturated with individuals that unfortunately aren't serious about their craft as much as the other individual.
Yeah, definitely that. And also I find it's one thing to find someone that can play, but it's another thing to find someone who's a professional and actually takes it to that level of seriousness, where they're going to show up. They're not going to screw you over. They're not going to, flake out on you the night before the gig. So that's kind of what it sometimes boils down to. And thankfully, I also found some incredibly talented musicians to work with in this band. And my drummer, Colin, we actually grew up together, kind of jamming and playing music together. So it's been amazing to kind of rekindle that friendship and start jamming on this new stuff and bringing all my new tunes to them as well. So not only are we going to be playing the album live, but we're also going to be playing a bunch of new songs that are going to be on the second record as well. So I'm really excited to bring those to a show and play them in front of some people and give the fans everything that I can.
And aside from this amazing new band you just set up, and of course the album that dropped back in March of this year, what is next for Dylan Bradley? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview? Anything else you do still want to touch on, talk about, or promote? We still got you here live on 99.9 Punk World Radio FM here tonight.
Yeah, I think what's next for me really is, again, to get on that tour, to get playing shows, just get out everywhere in Toronto that I can, and in the smaller cities as well. I mean, we're going to go everywhere that we can go, and hopefully all of Ontario. And I know a lot of people from Mexico and Portugal and these other places have been reaching out, really begging me to come play some shows there too. So I'm really hoping that we can make that happen soon as well. In the UK too, I've had some people reach out. So I'm trying to get to all these places. I want to make it happen. And that's definitely the focus now, is to just make the show as amazing as it can be, get us as tight and sounding as great as we can. And so delivering on that is sort of the step one here, the next phase, and then also working on the second record as well and finishing that up so I can start some pre-production there and get working on putting that together in the studio. So that's basically the next things. And I guess we're also going to be doing a couple more music videos as well along the way and keep promoting the record, really. So it's still pretty early on. Like, we've made videos for, I think, 3 or 4 songs now, and I plan to do them for probably all 8, at least something small. Leave no song behind is the goal there. So, yeah.
And I know the listeners are probably wondering, once you just actually pretty much just announced that there's another music video coming, when can the fans actually expect this brand new music video?
Shh. No, I'm just kidding. We'll see. I mean, it's hard to say. We're scheduled to film probably this weekend, actually, but I'm not going to say which song it is yet. I want to leave that a little bit of a surprise and build up to that video release. But there will be another music video coming out. It's going to be amazing. We have it all planned out, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that shoot.
And I'm not going to pry on what song it is, but I have to know, man. As a Dylan Bradley fan, will your brand new band be in this music video, or are you going to keep it solo for the second music video?
This next music video is going to be just me, but the one following that, I do probably plan on doing a full band video. So it's funny because there was actually the All Your Lies video, which I guess I used to promote. I haven't released a full video yet, but that was supposed to be, and then things kind of didn't work out there. So that kind of started the whole independent video journey, which has been amazing and just a great experience. But I definitely plan on doing another full band video in the future. So I got to decide which song that's going to be still, but probably one of the more hard rock songs. So that's, yeah.
And before we part ways here tonight, Dylan, of course, I know how to follow you on social media because, of course, that's how we got connected. But for the individuals that might just be discovering Dylan Bradley, Toronto, Ontario, Canada's own tonight, how do we actually go about following you across all social media platforms? How we can stay updated on your amazing musical journey?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, you can go to dylanbradley.com, and that'll link you to all my socials, videos, everything that you can imagine. So that's a good place to start. But Dylan Bradley Official on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as well. So you can find me there. And yeah, looking forward to it.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Dylan, thank you so much, man, for giving not only myself, but the radio station Airways a bit of your time. It was such an honor speaking with you, learning a bit more about your musical journey, and of course, what is to come, man. Again, congratulations on securing a full band. I'm really excited to see what comes next for you, man, because like I said, you're an amazing artist, you're talented, you're fresh on the scene, and you're absolutely killing it, man. So I can only imagine where you're gonna be in 5 years, man, and I'm looking forward to following you and just enjoying that journey for you, bro. Like, honestly, Keep doing what
Thanks.
you do best, man. And that's making music.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. So we're coming, Toronto. In Canada, here
Thank
we
you.
come.
Thank you so much again, Dylan. Definitely have yourself a phenomenal night. Phenomenal night, man. We definitely should talk again here soon.
Absolutely. Take care. Thank you for having me.